Boom, we are pre-recorded, ladies and gentlemen. We are back from the Osa Peninsula. We're going to be taking a look at the JP Morgan coin from the CEO who said just 2 years ago Bitcoin was a fraud to trying to do their own rendition and the hopeful failure of their idea there, but some of the reasons why they've been gaining traction. Obviously, JP Morgan does trillions of dollars of movements quite frequently, so for them it's good to have an in-house system, and again, adoption like this in this space is good. At least it increases the awareness and understanding about what this technology is capable of, even though those who currently are trying to apply it to their particular dilemma have no idea why it's actually valuable. With that in mind, let's just dive in, take a look at the Bitcoin charts, Litecoin, Ethereum, and we'll take a look at one of the articles around the JP Morgan coin, the Quorum chain that they're running on, which is basically part of the Ethereum Alliance as well. So dive in. We'll keep things short today. Again, we're back in town, so we'll be uploading hopefully the first vlog of a few of them from the trip to the Turtles. Again, big shout out to CoinGecko as well as Energy Cryptocurrency for partnering with us to go doing that. And shout out to everyone that's at Anarpoco right now. I wish we could be there with you, but here we are instead. So if we dive in, we take a look right off the bat. Let's go to the CoinGecko overall market cap and just take a look at everything on the daily. Obviously, we don't see a large percentage movement in anything in the top 10, which is good. Again, we're finding stability. It seems as soon as Bitcoin finds a price that it likes, everything else starts to stabilize as well. We had a big run up in Bitcoin from the $3,400 area to the $37, but we see a very, very ominous pattern, which we've seen continue and then break down many times before, where you have this large price jump and then you have a declining flag. I likely suspect we'll drop on this flag as well, just because it's what we've seen repeat numerous times on the Bitcoin chart here. It's become somewhat frequent, I guess, on the daily. It's not going to be as noticeable, but if I go back to the hourly or the 4-hour chart, you can see more of these types of moves, which is basically a straight up green candle or a straight down red candle. Here you can see we had a straight up green candle followed by a flag and then a drop, straight up green candle followed by a flag and then a big drop. Again, here you even had a drop followed by a flag and then another big drop. So these large volume spikes seem to be, well, it's likely acquisition by bigger players, especially when you see these massive buys like this. Those are likely coming in. I do suspect we'll see that in market movement all the way down to the bottom. Anyone that's trying to move large sums of money into this space is going to find a staggered entry. It just makes more sense than buying everything all at once, especially because I'm fairly confident by the technicals and the fundamentals that we're seeing in the rest of the market that the Bitcoin space is going to continue downwards for a little bit longer. Again, long-term, extremely bullish, short-term, bearish. But anyways, we keep that outlook and we can continue to update that outlook as time moves forward because, hey, everything changes. There's no need to stay stuck in an opinion or married to an idea. We try to update that as often as possible. We'll just dive in and take a look at Ethereum. You had a nice little bounce up to the $125 mark. Again, mostly a dead cat. Here was the A, B, and the C, so we may even be completing the C and D wave here, which is likely going to bring us to lower lows in Ethereum. I had us charted with the ability to go anywhere near $30. So I'll show you why I put that spot there. If you actually zoom out on the daily chart and look at Ethereum's wave here, the last previous area of support, which we have not really ever retested, is down here between $43 and $82. So we hit the $82 mark already, but we haven't come down and tested the $43 mark. The only reason I drew it all the way down to 20 is in case there was any panic wicks on the way down to $40 that you might see those quick snaps of buying and selling. Again, I think Ethereum is going to come lower for the final E wave before consolidating and continuing on its pattern. Again, we saw massive movements from the dollar range to the hundreds and hundreds of dollars range, thousands of dollars in Ethereum here. So this is a nice healthy market movement. Again, the retracement past the 236 line here has been quite strong. And since we broke that 350 between the $500 area, we've been totally out of Ethereum. I think we left most of it around 460, and then we exited everything else around 400. There's just too much downtrend here in this, as you can see in this wedge. So this is a key indicator. This is actually when we left most of our position, was this red line here. Looking at Litecoin too, obviously there's a lot of hype and excitement around Litecoin, and I do understand why. There's room for extra currencies in this space. I'm not a maximalist by any means. I believe decentralization requires the ability to choose what you think is best, not use what everyone else tells you to use. If Bitcoin was the only option, it does fall under this form of fiat because you're kind of forced to use it because there's no other options. I do believe that option and choice are necessitated in the decentralized world, so there is room in my mind for companies like Litecoin, or I guess tokens, coins, cryptos, whatever you want to call it. We can use any nomenclature at the moment. I'm quite happy with that, to see that there is room for the currency as in compared with the money or the contracts or other forms and cables of commerce, which might end up inevitably saving money or time for those who are using those particular technologies. Again, I think we'll see the C wave come down to Litecoin anywhere near the $25 mark. And again, the final precipice of support that we had was $11. So I do have a wick that could potentially bring us down to the $11 range. So the C wave would bring us just below the last A wave, probably around $20, with the D wave bounce to 35. This is my rough estimate guess here. I'm still waiting for this to play out. Although again, these are big moves from the $20 range to the $40 range. These are 100% gains in only a month's time, I guess a month and a half's time on this one here. So again, we're going to start keeping a closer eye on the bounces between the next C and D wave and the next E and continuation patterns. So we're keeping a close eye on all of these because we don't want to leave value on the table, and also because we're just interested in always learning more. We saw that with XLM the other day. We had a beautiful little bullish divergence. Right at this point, we made a quick 7% on one of our entries, exits, and then now we're just watching. Again, on the daily chart, on the 1 hour, you see that the 155 have just crossed. Again, they crossed not too long ago, and then you can see that the daily averages or the EMAs are moving down. So again, keeping a close eye on this here will be helpful, just to keep everyone's mind interested in the direction. I think that Bitcoin is going to be coming down, but again, there is room for it to move to 4,000. So just really quickly to recap with Bitcoin, I believe we're going to break down here. Again, we've been pushing the RSI support here quite intensely. Unless we break out into the oversold region, I don't see us going back to $4,000. But if we see the RSI level start to change, we'll do an update video. We're just going to start ranting about information in the financial sector, the housing sector, the investment sector as we go. Anyways, so we're just going to start doing hopefully more random video updates about stuff we're reading in the market to help keep you guys updated and interested. Again, I think what we'll do later today is create a secondary video around the S&P 500. Again, my initial targets for the S&P 500 turnaround was around 2,600, or it's currently sitting at 27.7. So again, we're about to hit some major points of resistance and support, and this is hugely important for the rest of the market. So we'll make a little video update about that later. And also, again, the JP Morgan coin settling their efficiency ideas here. You've got XRP as now as one of their I guess their competitors. It's just ridiculous to see the old world system really have no clue why this space was so valuable in the first place, thinking that they can just adapt it to save themselves money, missing the depth of the point, which seems to be so clear to those of us that know. Anyways, this is Tio with the Arcane Bear. Thank you for joining us. We hope you have a wonderful day, evening, morning, wherever you happen to be in the world. Smash that thumbs up for the 2019 that it is. Hit that subscribe button if you have not already. And have yourself a lovely day. We'll see you guys on the other side. If there's any questions, comments, please leave those down below as we do our best to answer with our opinions, share our thoughts, and any links that we might have in that space. And we'll see you guys in the next video.